I'm from a grimy era, let's talk about it. Gotta keep a pole, can't walk without it. Did some things in the streets, but I won't talk about it. Seen some things in the streets, but I won't talk about it. I'm from a hood that's thorough, they don't play here. And they don't play on these blocks, it ain't a daycare. A new kid gets shot every day here. I guess that's why my heart colder than the rain there. dvderatv back at y'all with another one. Y'all know the slogan. Let's get straight into this one. Now, my reason for doing these videos is just entertaining content, and maybe the youth can learn from these rappers' mistakes. Now, Sous Surf is a battle rapper out of Newark, New Jersey. Sous Surf hit the scene around 2009, 2010, battling on Smack URL, making a name for himself. Surf will quickly become a battle rap superstar and go on to battle other battle rap superstars like Hitman Holla, Conceited, Tay Rock, and K-Shine, just to name a few. While putting out music while battle rapping, Sous Surf will become one of the first battle rappers to break the stigma of battle rappers not being able to make good music. Sous Surf will begin to work with Joe Buttons on a countless number of tracks and will start to create a buzz for himself in the hip-hop industry as well. But before Sous Surf will go on to work with Benny the Butcher, Remy Ma, Mozzie, G Herbo, and Jim Jones, that put out his albums for 725 and Make Sure You Kill Me, and his album with Cali rapper Mozzie, Blood Cousins, Sous Surf will find himself in some trouble that he might not made it out of. Now, Sous Surf will be arrested on attempt murder charges in 2017, and after beating his charges and being released from prison not too long after, Sous Surf will be shot 5 times in July 2018. Now, supposedly, Surf will be in the hood of his ops, and when he pulled up to a red light, a car will pull up beside him and begin to open fire. Now, according to Sous Surf, after he was struck once in the arm, the shooter would get out his car and walk up to his passenger side, firing more shots, striking him 2 times in the ribs and 2 times in the stomach. Now, after Surf was shot, he would jump out his car and begin to pull at other car doors and flag cars down, hoping someone would stop for him and drive him to the hospital. Now, eventually, Surf will find someone that'll take him to the hospital after basically jumping in that person's car. The guy told Surf he wasn't from around that area, but if he directed him, he'd get him to the hospital.
He said, look, I don't know where no hospital is, but if you tell me where you going, I'll take you there. I get out the car, I run to the emergency door, start banging on the door.
Now, Sous Surf would survive this shooting, but he's currently in jail on RICO charges that he pled guilty to, and he could face up to 30 years in prison. But Surf would plead guilty to his charges, and in December 2023, Surf was sentenced to 60 months in prison. Now, according to the federal inmate website, it says Sous Surf will be home in February 2026. Now, Trey Deee is a well-respected Crip from the Insane Crips in Long Beach, California. You also may know Trey Deee for being a member of the East Siders along with Goldie Loc and Snoop Dogg, and he even had a short role in the movie Baby Boy. Now, Trey Deee spent most of his life gangbanging and putting in work in the streets, which would lead to him doing a few bids in prison. And in 2003, Trey would be charged for a shooting where he faced 122 years in prison, but luckily was only sentenced to 12 years. Now, Trey Deee will find himself on the opposite side of the gun as well. Now, according to Trey Deee, he'll run outside to get some extra treats for kids at a birthday party he was having at his house, and he'll be spotted by some rival gang members that identified him by his tattoos. Now, after Trey Deee will leave Taco Bell, he'll head to the liquor store. He'll be short on cash, or he'll head back to the car to get the change, and that rival will open fire on him, striking him in the back, even though he had kids with him that was in the car.
I was going to get some extra little treats for some kids I had at a birthday party at my house, and dudes was behind me and reading my tattoos and everything. So we was at Taco Bell, and then when we left Taco Bell, we went down to a liquor store on the next block, and I went in the store, but I didn't have the right amount of change to get what I wanted to get. So I walked back out and was getting the change from Rocky. When I walked back, it just got some kind of like funny feeling, and I looked back at the dude, and he was jacking off a little automatic weapon, and he just started popping. So I ran away from the car, I ran back past him into the store so I would draw the fire away from the kids. And he shot me in passing, shot me in the back.
Now, 40 Glocc was affiliated with G-Unit through Mobb Deep. You may know 40 Glocc for running down on Lil Wayne truck and chasing Plies at his video shoot where Plies ran and hid in the bathroom.
I'm on the set with Plies to do this video. 30 real niggas came on the set.
Yeah.
I get out there, we can't find Plies. He ran to the bathroom and and then when I talked to him, he said, I didn't want this for you.
And also being beat up on camera by the gang. Now 40 Glocc would be in a lot of controversy around the time he was affiliated with G Unit, and all the trouble he'll find himself in would eventually catch up to him. Now this wouldn't be the first time 40 Glocc would be shot either. Now according to an article on mercurynews.com from June 18, 2017 says, Carlton rapper 40 Glocc was shot Thursday while attending a funeral at San Bernardino Cemetery, but is expected to survive, San Bernardino police said Friday. The police will investigate whether the shooting was gang-related, San Bernardino Police Lieutenant Mike Madden said. On Thursday afternoon, the rapper had been at a funeral for a homicide victim and may have been walking back to a car with a woman when a vehicle pulled up near them and fired shots right at him, Madden said. A bullet went through White's arm and into his chest. The woman was grazed by a shot and then hit and dragged briefly by a car, but Madden said it's unknown whether it was driven by the shooter or someone fleeing the incident. Madden had no information on the identity of the woman, but said she and White are expected to survive their injuries. Police have not made any arrests. The incident was very sketchy. The information they were getting at this time were very limited, Madden said.
Send a couple rockets that'll knock a couple limbs out of socket. I'm warning you, man, better watch it. You need to stop it. I'd rather be in the tropics. And you miss not slick, popping a bunch of hot shit. You mad, cause you home breathing air that's toxic. With 4 wings and rice, I'm eating Thai food with chopsticks, just chilling. And you wonder while out on some lock site.
Now, Paul Kane is a rapper from Brooklyn, New York. Paul Kane is actually from Brevoort Projects in the Bed-Stuy section of Brooklyn. Paul Kane is the younger brother of the Brooklyn rapper FABOLOUS, and you may know Kane from being heavy on the DJ Clue mixtapes and the mixtape and DVD era. Now, Muggs, aka Paul Kane, was 1/3 of the Triangle Offense along with FABOLOUS and Joe Budden. And Kane was also part of DJ Clue's Desert Storm record label alongside of acts like Stack Bundles, Fab, the A-Team, and Joe Budden. Now, Paul Kane is also a member of Street Fam, the Street Clique, and the Street Fam rap group, which consists of Kane, Fab, Red Cafe, and Freck Billionaire. Now, Kane will also rep his own clique and promote SLK, which was short for Street Life Kings. Now, Paul Kane will sign a record deal with Sony/Epic in 2002 and appear on fabulous albums such as Street Dreams, Real Talk, From Nothing to Something, and Loso's Way on songs like Why Wouldn't I, Keeping It Gangsta Remix, Popo, and This Is the Family, just to name a few. Before Paul Kane would show his acting skills in Loso's Way, the movie, and web series like Respect Life and The Brooklyn Way, Paul Kane would find himself in some trouble that he might not made it out of. Now, in 2006, Paul Kane would be shot just 2 months before his brother FABOLOUS was shot after NBA superstar Sebastian Telfair was robbed for his $50,000 chain by an alleged Street Fam member. Now, when Kane was shot, the bullet would puncture his lungs and affected his ability to rap.
At first, I couldn't do it. I ain't gonna say I couldn't do it. I would get through it. It'd be 20 punches in one 16-bar verse, but I'd get through it.
Now, it's even reported that Paul Kane was shot because him and his Street Fam crew were connected to a string of robberies at the time. Now, in an article from allhiphop.com, it says 2 months before FABOLOUS was shot, the brother rapper Paul Kane, 25, was also wounded in violence, suspected to be connected to several chain-snatching incidents. Officials believe that the gang has about 20 members who are former drug dealers that hail from the Brevoort houses in Brooklyn, where FABOLOUS was raised. Now, that information was from allhiphop.com. Now, this is all public information, even though it's just speculation. And this goes all the way back to like 05, 06 in the DVD era. So I'm sure it passed the statute of limitations anyway. Now, Paul Kane was very talented, and I just wish he would have put a little more into music and took it a little bit more serious and put out like more projects. He definitely had some classic freestyles with Fab, Joe Budden, Stack Bundles, and the whole Desert Storm crew. But hop in my comment section and tell me your favorite Paul Kane song or freestyle. Let me know in the comment section. Now, as of late, Paul Kane hasn't really been putting out a lot of music, but he definitely been displaying his talent at acting, you know, in web series like Respect Life and The Brooklyn Way. So shout to him. Now, Young Buck would be in the trap house when the lights would go out around 2 a.m. Now, at the time, Young Buck would sleep on the floor with a 12-gauge shotgun by him. Now, according to Buck, the lights would eventually come back on in the kitchen and in the room as he heard the trap door opening.
I just heard a pull on the door, and then immediately, boom!
And a guy in all black was running with a chopper saying, "Nobody move."
Kind of was laying under a cover, had the cover kind of over my head so I could kind of peek through the corner of my eye. Once he started to make his way into the house, like I said, it was 12 gauge that was laying on the floor. And it was solid chrome at that. And I think once he noticed it and looked down and actually seen that gun, he immediately went to feeling the cover. I could feel the barrel coming up the cover, you know what I'm saying? Because I was asleep on the floor, so he got this barrel, and I remember feeling it like towards my lower back, kind of moving up. And just the fear, I guess, of getting shot in the back of the head or something, just, I looked up a little bit and I could see feet sticking out beside the refrigerator. And I ran, you know, towards the kitchen area.
Buck would get up and run in the kitchen where his partner shot the intruder 2 times, and according to Young Buck, the robber would return fire with his chopper. As Young Buck tried to dive down, he would be hitting his arm and his leg. Now, Young Buck partner and the robber would exchange fire before the robber would leave the scene.
You know, I crawled into the kitchen and my partner was still shooting and ducking and trying to get off from out of the kitchen against him, but I'm watching the walls fly off and shit. And he was just spraying in the house, you know? And I remember to this very day, I don't know why my prayer was that. I didn't pray to say, Lord, don't let me get shot, or Lord, don't let me die. I was actually asking God, Lord, please don't let me get hit in the head. I remember my partner about to come out of the side of the refrigerator because he was ducking off and kind of shooting with him. And the guy just stuck the gun around the door and just sprayed some more. His body was outside of the house, but he just stuck it in, sprayed a little more. And by that time, the gunshot stopped.